Welcome to the Eagles Call, a presentation of Athens Christian School, an in-depth look at what the Lord is doing through our students and families for the community of Athens and for Northeast Georgia. Tonight, we continue our conversation with co-founder and longtime headmaster of ACS, Dr. Buhl Cummings. We'll shine the senior spotlight on Lynetta Barnes, and we'll have more samples of our third grade Thanksgiving program. We continue now with our interview with Dr. Buhl Cummings, co-founder and longtime headmaster of Athens Christian. Last week, we heard how the vision of ACS was birthed in the hearts of Buhl and his wife Lois. Tonight, Dr. Cummings takes us through the first few years of the school's existence.
That on camera. We'll
all right, this is actually where it started.
All right, see if we can zoom in on that.
It's a nice home on Millage Avenue.
And so you opened up in that place.
We opened up first 3 years.
All right, the first 3 years.
125 students the first year.
125 students the first year.
We just, you know, we could hardly get them in. We got them in.
And what grades did you cover in that?
Well, we originally planned on 1 through 6.
Okay.
Then somebody came that knew us very well and said, you have to go through 7th, you know, because I have a child in the 7th and there's other kids. So then somebody came to us that we knew. See, our own son, Tim, wouldn't have been in it.
Right.
And so, but however, Herbert Logan, the man that actually built that church, came and said, oh, can't you go through 8th grade? Because I want to get Robin in there.
Right.
And Robin has 2 friends that want to come.
Okay.
So that made us to go through 8th grade, 1 through 8.
1 through 8.
First year.
1 through 8.
Yeah, second year we went.
So did that get Tim in?
That gets Tim in.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Tim in. Good thing he needed it. There was another large home in the same block.
Right.
Owned by the same people. Mm-hmm. And we were able to rent that one for $125 a month.
Okay.
So with the 2 large homes, we were able to take care of about 350 kids.
How long did y'all stay in those 2 homes?
Well, we saw what was coming.
Right.
So we just started praying and looking for land.
Right.
And I was in the bookstore. This is an interesting story. One Saturday morning.
Okay.
Because we kept our bookstore for 4 years after the school started because we did not take a salary from the school ourselves the first 4 years.
That's amazing.
And a lady came in that we knew, and she said, you know, I don't think we're going to start our church out there on Highway 29 North where we were planning on. She says, we're going to move it a mile up the road.
Okay.
And I said, well, who owns that land out there? And she said, well, our neighbor, Mr. Southwell, who lived on the Hull Road out here. He owns all those, are all cattle pastures out there.
Right.
And he's going to sell us 30 acres. But we're going up the road a mile, which they did. And right up 1 mile up this road is Crossroads
Church.
Church, yeah.
That's right.
So we were sitting, as soon as I got home from the store that evening, I said, honey, you be ready. And we were able to see Mr. Southwell, whether he was having supper or not. We were knocking on the door and wanting to buy this property, which he was very glad to sell us because he was going to sell it. People were going to build a church.
Right.
So he sold us this land, 30 acres.
30 acres.
He says, I'm selling you my best pasture. That's why things grow real well out here.
Yeah, that's right.
But however, we raised that money, and he gave us a very good deal to buy the land, and then we borrowed money. In Athens, they wanted us, 100 of our parents to sign, but we didn't want to be obligated to parents.
Right.
And Herbert Logan, again, that Logan family goes all through our history, said, you know, we just borrowed some money up in Commerce from a little savings and loan to build our church, Trinity Baptist Church. So we went up to see those folks, and they were willing to loan us because they knew we had excellent collateral because we were down here sitting on Highway 29 with 30 acres of property. And right at that time, a lady left us in her will. She heard us on the radio one morning. We used to have a radio program 2 years ago, and it left us a $40,000 house.
Wow.
So that was good collateral.
That's
so
good.
we were able to borrow 200, now this doesn't sound like much money, but $200,000. We had the property, and we built the building where you're sitting, where we're sitting right now, for $60,000.
Now, this building now houses the elementary school and the middle school, right?
It housed everything at first, but now it houses the middle school, the elementary school, the offices, the lunchroom, and the gym, which
gym.
was our main gym at one time.
Right.
But it's a small gym now, and also the drama center.
Right, right.
And since that time, other buildings, of course, have been added.
That's right.
But that's the story of this first building. When we moved in out here, we just didn't quite make it in September.
Yes.
So a couple churches up the road, that one Crossroads that was supposed to be here, and I think it was Calvary Baptist Church at that time, that let us use their facilities.
Okay.
So we jammed everybody in there for 2 months.
What a blessing.
And yeah, what a blessing. But when we moved in here, we took a day off of school holiday, brought all our desks that had been stored. It was Halloween, by the way, of 1973. And we said, you know, this isn't a trick, it's a treat.
Right, right.
And when we moved in, Monday of that next week, 1st October or something, or November, why we moved in here and people came in and the kids couldn't believe it. It was like being in heaven.
Where did you get the labor to move in now? The actual physical moving furniture and all that kind of stuff?
Okay, well, our teachers.
The teachers.
Yeah, we moved all the furniture. We had desks stored in different places and, you know, all that. And our teachers took one day off.
Man,
people brought trucks.
I think that describes extraordinary devotion of the teaching staff.
Our teachers and staff, of which there's 75 now in all, bus drivers included, they make this school what it is.
Yeah, that's a tremendous devotion. And it's a good testimony, I think, to what you and Lois have done, the kind of faithfulness and love that you've sown in the hearts and lives of the people here.
Yeah, well, that's just the way the Lord called us, and we answered His call.
Yeah.
Did what He wanted us to do, was an answer to a lot of people's prayers because they didn't want their kids in. And I'm not on the TV program to knock the government schools at all, because we do not do that.
It's hard work, right?
Yeah,
what they do.
But however, there are lots of people, and as I told Lois just the other day, I said, honey, there's always going to be people that want what we have at Athens Christian School.
That's right.
And that is a good education, not being filled up with humanism and secularism and evolution. When our kids are in 11th grade, well, we teach them what evolution is.
Right.
We tell them that it's a theory, and that's what. So our kids know the theory of it.
Why don't you tell me about that? Tell me a little bit about the advent of the. I mean, we have great facilities here, sporting facilities here at this point in time. Why don't you tell me about the advent of the sporting program?
Okay, well that's a good question. Like I say, this was the only building, by the way, for which we ever borrowed money.
Okay.
And the folks up at that little Commerce and Loan building and loan in Commerce, nice folks. They were older lawyers and doctors and farmers, and they trusted us. They loaned us that money. Paid it off. It was a 15-year loan, paid off in 7.5 years, by the way. Never borrowed any more money for any other school.
Be sure to tune in next week for the conclusion of our interview with Dr. Cummings.